Obama's executive orders and said on the campaign trail that he will get rid of them on day one. Now he may start his term as president with an executive order of his own, placing tariffs on imports. Joining us, CNN political commentator and host of Smerconish, Michael Smerconish. Mike, Allison dismissed out of hand my tutorial on why the law is a thicket around tariffs, so let's just cut to the chase. Do you think that Congress will let, or the law will allow, Donald Trump to do his own tariff of 5% or any percent on imports?
I thought that the broccoli had all been handled in the first hour of the program with Aaron
I'm asking
Lewis,
a political question.
I'm on castor oil.
I'm asking a political question.
When I was watching, I was saying to myself, thank God it will not come up during my segment. But since you're bringing it up, here's the political answer. I think he's going to face stiff opposition, and what's unique is that the opposition is going to come from within his own party. Ideologically speaking, he has assembled a pretty traditionally conservative team around him. But on this issue, this position is an outlier from Mitch McConnell. It's an outlier from Paul Ryan. It will put the president-elect at odds with the United States Chamber of Commerce. So, given Republican control of the House and Senate, I think it doesn't bode well for him on this issue, politically speaking. And something else, Chris, that you noted at the outset, which is he was such a vociferous critic of President Obama's use of executive order. And so here he is seeking to do something that's not conservative and to do it by executive order. It's just another indication of how unusual these next 4 years might be in some issues.
Oh, how the tables have turned. I mean, this is really a fascinating one to watch because, as you say, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Mike Pence, at one time, they do not like this, and then the Commerce Secretary designate, Wilbur Ross, does like it, and so, I mean, I guess we just sit back and see who wins this one.
Well, trade has always been, ideologically speaking, one of those politics, because NAFTA was supported by Donald Trump may draw union support in what he's seeking to do with a tariff. Going to have the leaders of his own party.
All right, let me ask you something that's simple and only requires you to have an opinion. How do you feel about the billion-dollar cabinet appointments and the latest?
This billionaire boys club, and you've heard his defense of it, which is to say, I want winners. And if they've made a fortune, then he regards them as a winner. I understand that, and I think that there's some aspirational quality of Donald Trump and these picks that causes blue-collar, a lot of white guys to have been supportive of Trump because they look at the team and they say, geez, I'd like to be in that club. I'm just a little troubled by the idea that you judge a man or a woman only by the size of their wallet.
Carl Icahn, I mean, Mr. Trump admires him. He talked glowingly about him during the...
And Icahn said he wouldn't join the administration. I guess this is the compromise.
What is a regulation czar, anyway?
Well, no, his title will be special advisor. So the question then becomes how much clearance does he get? But he's someone who basically has an official title, but is just a phone call away.
Right, but isn't he tasked with, cracking down on over-regulation?
No, I think he's going to be an advice guy. But what do you think, Michael? You think he's going to set policy, or is he going to
advise? Let's bring Michael Smerconish in.
I think that he gets to whisper in the president's ear. The president gets the benefit of saying that Icahn who is iconic, associated with this administration. You like that, but it doesn't come with the 9 to 5 requisite requirements. So compromise is a good word.
Chris was like this, okay, while you were talking.
For me to get any agreement.
Because he's so happy.
Out of Mr. Clean, let alone out of you.
One last thing. The popular vote, the official numbers are now in. Hillary Clinton won by 3 million.
Getting close to 3 million. Puts Trump at the bottom of the list, except for, I think, Tilden and Hayes, in terms of the smallest percentage of popular vote, yet winning the presidency.
Okay, so what are we to make of that?
So I've been having the debate, it won't surprise you, on SiriusXM day in and day out, and what I find is that people who are pleased with the outcome of the election, if they were for Donald Trump and they're thrilled obviously that Trump won, then they say, oh, the Electoral College, the Founding Fathers, there's some purpose to this. And of course those who are disappointed because they were for Hillary or a third-party candidate, instead they say it's a vestige of a bygone era and we need to go a popular vote route. It's not the proper time to be having this conversation. The question is, in 6 months, when maybe there are cooler heads, will anybody still be interested? I hope so. I think it's a good debate.
Nobody makes more of this fact than the president-elect. He is obsessed with questions about the legitimacy of the
Right, but he says that's because we keep talking about it.
I think he's talked about it the most.
Michael, thank you very much. You can check out Smerconish Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on CNN. You can also hear him weekdays on SiriusXM at 9 a.m. Eastern.
All right, so the Queen forced to skip her usual Christmas trip. Why? Next.